Hey y'all, it is me, Stop, Drop, and Roll On. And I just got through doing my morning workout. Uh, I did a 30-minute walk is what I did. And I can't tell you how many times during that walk I really wanted to quit. I mean, just being honest, just wanted to quit. Where have I been? I have been right here, but everywhere as far as up here is concerned, all over the place. And first of all, before I get started, I just want to tell everybody that reached out to me or wondered where I was going and said something to where I was, I should say, said something. I want to say thank you. And I seriously mean thank you. I'm not saying it in any type of, nonchalant way. It's heartfelt. Because we are still trying to adjust to the new normal. And the real issue is that the ground is shifting every day. When Nanny went on, passed, died, transition, whatever word you want to use, that makes you feel better, the end result is still the same. That was the matriarch of our family. And even though she had Alzheimer's, we still had the things that she had taught us, told us, showed us, all those memories and all the love over the years, we had that to keep us going while we still also had her here. Even though she couldn't actively do those things, even in the Alzheimer's, we still we're learning from her. And we still, how people have a presence when they're present, but she has a presence even though she's not here. And that's, to me, a testament of a life lived, and one that was filled with, doing the best that you could do with what you had. And, doing things. I have learned even more from my mom and from my uncle and, and all that type of stuff. Uncles, I should say. Even so, because it opens up dialogue, makes you start talking. But in the midst of all that, Nanny dying and stuff, we also had some other really serious things going on. But she was... and not to minimize any of the other stuff that was going on, but helping her and being available to her, because the other things had already been going on, like my other aunt, that Nanny's daughter, who, I can't imagine your mother, your rock. They were very close. And then she's, dealing with the pink ribbon situation. At the same time, here you are watching all this go on, and then ultimately your mom. It's my grandmother, but it's her mom, and she and I are the same age, okay? So I have my emotions, and then you have that other, situation going on too, but she has completed all her therapies and everything, got past her surgeries and all of that other stuff, and she has gotten a clean bill. So that's good. But like I told you, there were other things going on. So when we are at a funeral, we're getting ready to go into another phase with my niece, who is less than 35 years old, who is dealing with the pink ribbon situation as well. And so she has had her surgery. She's now in chemo. And so there's that. And then I'm just telling y'all where I've been and what's been going on and what's going on mentally. And I spoke with one of my uncles, which I have uncles that I have met, my father's brothers, later on in my life. I met them when I was in my, some of them I met when I was in my late 20s. And some of them I met when I was in my mid to early 30s. And so I got to spend 20, plus years been able to 20 plus years of getting to know them. And it's been interesting, and it's been something else to have a side of you that when you see yourself, you see people and you see them doing things you've not shared anything geographically. You haven't shared anything up to this point, but you find out that you have relatives that like to do the same things you do, and things that are interesting to you that are interesting to them. It's really weird, but I'm not going to get off on that. But my one uncle that actually came down here, his wife came with him, and she was actually just invested in meeting my brother and I, because it was important to her husband, which is my father's brother. They made a trip one year and came down, and we met and talked and had a really nice dinner and everything, and kept in contact after that over the years. It was just a sweet time. And he and I, over Christmas talked and stuff, and it was just really kind of weird because we ended up on the phone talking and crying, and we were just talking about how when we first met and all those feelings, and how what he thought that my father would think of me at this point, because I have no memory of him. There's just a spot right there that I have a picture, and I have a name, and I have a date of birth and a date of death, and I have a newspaper clipping of, when he was killed, and the little write-up that was in the paper. But that's all I have. I don't have that daddy, like, blood DNA, daddy-daughter type stuff. I never had any of that. And that's not to feel sorry for me, because I had a stepfather that was awesome. And I say step just so y'all can stay with me, but we never put step when we talked about him. He was good to us, and he loved us. But I spoke with this uncle over the holidays, over Christmas holiday, and we just talked, like I said, and talked, and, end up moving. Every emotion you could think of was involved in that conversation. A couple weeks later, he's gone. Unexpected, young, 62 years old. Not just that right there, And, y'all, you just don't know. You just don't know. And then, this is Tuesday morning. So last Friday, another uncle with a health issue. So y'all, it's just been a lot. But God is able. Anything that man can name, God is above it, And even though this stuff is happening externally to me, meaning it's not in my body, it's not me, that's no longer here, it is still affecting our family as a whole. I can't say that it's just me or it's just the people that it's happening to. It's just like I told y'all before, the elephants gathering. We get together, we do what we have to do. If it's encouragement, or if it's text, or if it's cards, or if it's, making a trip or whatever, you just got to do what you got to do. So with that being said, I've made a lot of videos. I just haven't been posting them. I haven't been able to post them. It was more like they were more for me personally, more of a cathartic type situation. And that's pretty much it. I have been reading. I will say that my book club has continued to go on. And I'll tell y'all some more about that, because I got a book I want to share. But today, I just decided, enough already. You're doing things because you have to do them. But at this point, where I'm what I am doing is working myself to get back to doing my activity like I know I need to do my activity. My eating has not been off, but it hasn't been what it needs to be. And my activity has been sporadic. And that I will not, I'll make no type of excuse for it all. I'm either 100% whole hog in, or either I'm just sitting back like I'm, at a spectator sport. And neither one of those things are going to get me where I need to be. What's going to get me where I need to be and where I want to be is for me to be consistent. I personally am tired of having this talk with myself. I'm tired of talking to y'all about it. I'm sure that there are some of you out there that are tired of hearing it. And it can't be any more tiring than I am of saying it. Because it is an area where if I have a deadline, I meet my deadline. If I have something that I need to do as it pertains to work, if I need to pray, if I need to read my word, if it's something on television as far as something that is that has caught my eye that I want to see, I will do what I need to do. To do that, to see it or to whatever. Okay, so I have to put the same urgency, the same importance, the same everything on top of this activity and this eating. These two things have to align because it can't be this. It's kind of like a what they call them a fault line. I mean, and that's an appropriate statement. I didn't think about that before, but it's a fault. It's an issue. It's a problem. It's an area of blame, an area of instability. That's the fault line for me. It's constantly shifting. And sometimes when it just gets so far off, you have like the San Andreas fault and stuff like that, where we start getting these massive earthquakes and stuff like that. The fault lines shift, which means nothing is aligned the way it's supposed to be. The stability is lost. And so you have a shifting and it affects everything. And so what I'm not trying to have such a shift. I'm not trying to enlarge my fault line any more than it already is. What I want to move toward is getting this stuff to align where I don't have this constant this and then an overlapping of the fault lines, which leads to disaster. I don't want to. Reba Renee and did a video the other day. And she made this comment, and I was looking at the video, and to be totally honest, I said something to the video, not nothing negative, but initially I got offended, and I said, you know what, you sitting up here, and this is what I, paraphrasing saying to the video, you sitting up here being basically hacked off, PO'd, whatever term you want to use. If PO is too strong, for people then hacked off, whatever word you want to use, okay? Because somebody sat here and called you out. And basically, she did the video, but as far as I was concerned, that video was right for me. She made a comment and said, if you wearing a 16, she named some sizes and said, if you wearing any of that stuff and well good that that's not the size you're supposed to be in, or the weight, the scale is saying something, or whatever it is that you use, because it'll be somebody, I never get on the scale. I go by the size of my clothes. Well, if your pants is too tight, that's for you. If the scale number is too high, then she covered all the bases. And she just basically said, then that means you're not doing what you need to be doing. And I got offended. Well, offense is the time for you to go into your defense mode. Okay, defense in my case and in this situation means I need to get up off my rusty dusty, off my can, off my patootie hindquarters, and move. So this morning I got up and I moved my meat. I don't even know where these balls came from, who it is. I got so many doggone workout videos, I don't even know what video these balls came with. But it don't even matter. I did a 30-minute walk with Jessica Smith TV. I like her. I really do like her. She has a variety. She ain't just about walking, which for right now, I'm just about walking. But these little things, she's into keeping your chest open and all that kind of stuff. So these helped me to break a sweat because it was some added poundage and resistance when, you're doing the upper arm moves and stuff like that. It's two of them. Whoa, y'all. Sorry.